Hey guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robyn French Smith. It's Monday, which means it's time to make something together. Today we're going to be working with WonderBar. It's been a while since I've done anything with WonderBar. Man, so much work was going into getting those dry recipes out and done that I've definitely been neglecting WonderBar lately. So wanted to do some WonderBar today, and I'm gonna try to do pressed bars. I have this really cute little mold from Supermoon Soaps. I don't know if it'll work, and so I have a scoop here just in case I have issues with it. I don't think I will, but I will say that even though I love WonderBar, pressing it is the most risky way to use it in my opinion. Because you know, piping it, I know that people are like scared of piping it, but piping it to me is like one of the easiest ways to use it because you just keep adding rubbing alcohol until it's pipeable. Scooping it is pretty easy to me. So I don't know if the texture for pressing is like, it's also dependent on the mold. I don't know, there's just a lot more I think that can go wrong when you're trying to press it. So just my 2 cents there. So we're gonna try it though. Why not, right? Got a cute mold. It's a nice like spring mold, so it's not like spring. It's not like too, you know, Easter. It's like spring. Anyway, hi. How are you guys doing today? I apologize. I have so many messages and tags that I have to catch up on from this weekend. Because we released the dry or the recipe, and then like I had to jet because my younger son, it was his birthday this weekend, and then he was in a play, and the play was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so it was like 3 days of doing that. And his best friend had his birthday party this weekend, so he went to another kid's birthday on his birthday. Like, we just had so much going on this weekend. So I know that a lot of people have tagged me and asked questions and like sent me messages, and I haven't had time to respond because I woke up today and I was like, I'm just gonna do some things for me this morning. Like, I'm just gonna be lazy and like just not do anything else this morning for a little bit. So, but I will catch up soon. Okay, so basically for WonderBar, it's our solid bubble bath recipe if you don't know what it is. I have all my powdered ingredients in here, and then I just mixed in my liquid ingredients with the exception of my rubbing alcohol, which is right here. We use rubbing alcohol as a processing agent to help WonderBar get to like the right texture that we're looking for. And it's a really cool recipe because you can, let's see if I can do it. You can press it, scoop it, roll it, or pipe it. I'm Billy Mays. Like, that's how I feel like when I'm doing it. Like, it's like a ShamWow kind of thing. But yeah, it's like it's really flexible and easy to use, and so that's why I like it. I'm dumping it into this bowl real quick just to make sure I can scrape all this stuff and get everything from here. And then I'll give it another mix in the mixer because I want to start adding my colors to it. And we're gonna go for a light green color. You guys, I know that you're here. I can see there's like a little eyeball at the top. So I can see that you're here. So hi. If you're commenting though, I can't see it. I don't know why Facebook always be doing me like that. You know what I'm saying? But they do. Okay. So for green, and I'll put a link to this, but we do have a green color study because we're going into spring, so people are going to be wanting more green stuff. But for green, I'm going to do, this is 1 teaspoon, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of yellow 5, and like, I want this to be a really nice, like bright green, like this kind of green. So I'm just going to do like a really small amount of blue 1 until I know that I'm like where I want it. So I'm going to do 3 of these little micro scoops and see where that gets me. So I will include a link to the green color study, but I mean, you can always play around with the colors. You don't have to do just what the color study says, just saying. Yeah. So I'm going to give that a stir and we'll get going. So pressing texture to me is really similar to scooping texture. So that's why, like, as my backup, I have this just in case things don't work out. And I should probably grab some cornstarch so I can dust the dough with that, and that will help prevent sticking on my mold. So let me grab some cornstarch. And that is a really nice bright grass green. I really like it. So we're gonna start adding our rubbing alcohol, and I will weigh it. I don't normally weigh it, but for you today, I will weigh it just so we get, like, you know, we get like an idea of how much I actually use to get it to pressing texture. It's a little bit different for everybody, which is why in the directions we give you a range. So it doesn't, we always give you a range. So it's not like a hard, fast rule. You're looking for texture. I know it's not fair. I know that there are some people who like message me and like they want an answer. Like they want to know, like, for piping, should I use 150 or should I use 200? And it's really, like, it's so subjective. It really depends on your working environment. Like right now, my humidity is at 58%. It's backwards for y'all. It looks like 82, but it's 58%. So it's pretty humid here. I might not need as much rubbing alcohol as somebody who's in like a really dry environment might need. So right now I'm at 68 grams of rubbing alcohol, and I'm just gonna let that mix for a minute because sometimes just letting it mix is like a good addition. Oh, Lena says that she loves this happy green. Me too. Green is like, I know I've said this before, but like green is my favorite color. And this is a particularly bright green right now. We also have, if you guys don't know, we have like a blog post that Amanda did about master batching WonderBar. So you can make big batches and then you pull like a little bit from the big batch, and it's actually like the texture of that is like so good. Oh my god. It's like primo texture. So as it mixes, you can see like the sides where it's like starting to clump up and get bigger and bigger clumps, and that's kind of what we're going for. I am going to give it maybe just a little bit more rubbing alcohol. I like it to be a little bit more, I like it to be where it's holding in one big clump and it's not sticking to the sides. That's what I prefer. But when I was in Florida with Amanda for the holiday boot camp, she likes it to be a little bit more crumbly, like that texture when she's using it for pressing. So you just, you know, you can always experiment with it and see what you prefer. Obviously, the less rubbing alcohol that you put in it, the less drying time that you have too. So that's kind of a thing with it. Okay, so I do actually like, I think I'm going to keep letting it go, but I'm going to show you this. I think that this is pretty much there. It's like maybe a little bit drier than I like it, but you could probably press this right now because it's like big crumbles and stuff. And if I go like this, it holds together. So actually, I probably should press it right there because that's a good texture. It's holding together really well right there. Okay, so let's try that. I mean, before I, you know, because you can always, if you add too much, it's fine, but you might have to give it time to dry out and stuff. And it doesn't, for me, it doesn't dry out right away. Just my experience. So it can take, depending on how much, too much you add, it can take a while sometimes for it to get back to the point that I want it to be. So it's just one of those things. You can always add more, but, and you can let it evaporate and take it away. I don't want to be like that, but it just takes more time. Okay, so I'm going to grab a clump and I'm going to make it like roughly the same shape as my little frog right here, my little frog. And I like to rub the chunk on the surface of like my working area and that helps like smooth it out. You can also smooth it out once it's molded. And I'm gonna pat a little bit of cornstarch on there. Let's pat the baby. That'll come off when I'm done. And then I'm gonna fit that little clump of dough in there, and then I can top it off too with more WonderBar. It's gonna work, maybe, hopefully. I feel like this part's really satisfying because you're like getting to squash it in there. I don't have a knife here to like trim it. I guess I could just use the back of my spoon, or maybe I won't trim it. Let's try my back of my spoon and see. Yeah, that works. It's not like perfect, but it works. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip him over. He's got a little dent in his butt, but whatever, he's fine. Flip it over. Oh my gosh, it worked. He looks so cute. Oh my gosh, isn't he cute? Okay, so he's so stinking adorable. I'm gonna just scooch him up and make some more. So Karen says, hello, how much did you miss? And that you hope that I'm doing good and that my family's doing good. You didn't miss much. I just blended some WonderBar together. And then I am using it in a press mold because it's been a while since I've done that. I've done some scoops recently, and I've done like a cup. I did a roll for Saponification Nation, and I love doing piped WonderBar. I feel like that's like my go-to is like piped WonderBar. So it's been a while since I've done press, and I just got these really cute molds in from Supermoon Soap. So we're gonna do that today. Okay, so I have my chunk. I smoothed it out on the table first, and then I patted the baby with a little bit of cornstarch, and then I'm just gonna press and fill him in the rest of the way, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and then how am I doing and how is my family? Yeah, I said at the beginning, if you're late, that's fine, but I had such a busy weekend. So we released the the dry weather recipe, which is like so exciting, because we've been working on that for such a long time. It was a much bigger project. It became a much bigger project, I think, than I knew it would be, because I'm not able to test the recipes really myself, so I had to depend on other people. So that meant that, you know, I had to temper my expectations about how quickly people could work and stuff like that. So, but I learned a lot in the whole process. But we released that Friday, and then I had to like jet, and I haven't been able to like answer questions really. I've been able to like pop on every now and then, but not as much as I want to. Another cute one. Because this weekend was my son's birthday, plus he was in a play, but they had 3 shows this weekend, and he had to go to his best friend's birthday party. So it was like, oh my gosh, it's just a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So anyways, so this mix, what did I say? Was it 85, 87? So really, you know, you can just work with it. And like I said, okay, I don't want to pick these up, but next time I pick them up, I'll show you again. He does have some little cracks on his feet. I personally feel like bubble bars should have some cracks. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the bubble bar aesthetic. But if you really don't like the cracks, first off, smoothing it on the table like this really helps. And then after they're made, I can come back in a little bit and spray a little bit of rubbing alcohol anywhere where there's a crack, and I can like kind of massage it, and it will just kind of erase the crack. Don't you wish we could do that with our like wrinkles? You just like spray, and then you just rub, and it erases it. You know, Facebook will like show you those ads where it's like, look, she goes like this and she erases her neck wrinkles, and I'm like, or she uses a blur filter. Like, I may have been born in the morning, but I wasn't born this morning, you know. Come on. Anyway, I wish that that would work in IRL, as the kids say, in real life, but it don't. But you can do that for your bubble bars if you're not into them being wrinkly. So, and then the other thing is make sure you're, you know, giving plenty of wax. Because this is a one-piece mold, this is going to be pretty similar to how a vacuum form mold would perform too. So you could basically use the same technique for a vacuum form mold. You just might have to, you know, you might not have to hit it as hard, but you could like massage the mold, because vacuum form molds give a little bit, so you could massage the mold and it might help it like pop out a little bit more. I think I have enough for like maybe 3 more. Let's see. So yeah, and then obviously if I'm start going and I'm like, oh, I wish this mix was a little bit wetter, I could always throw some more rubbing alcohol in there. Or I could say, okay, I only want 3 of these and I want to scoop the rest. I could just scoop them. You know, I could add a little bit more rubbing alcohol and scoop them. So there's really just a lot that you can do with it. And then we always say WonderBar is never ruined. Like, if it doesn't work out, don't throw it away. Once it dries out, you can rebatch it. You can't necessarily do that with bath bombs. Like, you can put bath bombs in a bag so you have bath dust, but you can't like literally rebatch it and make another perfect bath bomb with it. But with WonderBar, you can do that. So if these, for some reason, like say we're done and I don't know, I dropped something on them and I squashed them all and I ruined it or something like that, I could just set it aside and come back later and they will be fine. And then I could just reanimate them basically. So it's a pretty cool little part of WonderBar. Karen says, oh, it's good to know. It was probably a lot of a challenge. Oh, I don't know. The whole weekend was a challenge, but also the dry weather recipe was a challenge because there's really not like a lot of time I can test it. I was really fortunate that I had some nice dry weather, but it's so rare for me. So okay, so this, oh guys, look how cute these are. And I will leave a link obviously in the description to the recipe, but also to the molds, you know. So, and then the color study, and then anything else that you guys are interested in, I can always leave links to that. As long as you ask, I can do it. Oh my god, my humidity, you guys, it's like about to pour down buckets of rain. Look at this. 76%. 76% humidity right now. Oh, it's so gross. Like, I can just feel it. Like, my whole body's like, ugh. We're gross right now. Your sweat is sweating. So, that's part of why it was hard to write a low humidity recipe. But I'm so grateful. Oh my gosh. If you were a tester for us, thank you so much. You guys were amazing. Y'all did a great job helping out, leaving comments, giving insight. We literally could not have done it without you. Even on my quote-unquote low humidity days, like my low humidity is like, oh my god, it's like 38% humidity right now. It's so low. So it's really not, the point is it's really not that low, is what I'm saying. But we had our testers had like, you know, 12% humidity. My skin hurts to think about that, actually. Let go, little frog. Oh my god, they're so cute. Okay, I'm just gonna move this guy up and away so I can get like a better hit on him. And then there's enough for one more. So I got 6 little frogs, couple forks out of this batch, and this is a one batch, how do I say that? It's a single batch. There we go, single batch of WonderBar. So I might get 6. There might not be enough to like finish them quite completely, but it'll probably be enough. We'll see. Oh, happy that we're getting some. I wish we could send our rain anywhere else but here. Houston is like such a rainy city. But you know, whenever I go to other cities, like I miss how green and swampy Houston is. That was one of the things when I was in California. I was just like, it's so brown. I mean, it was pretty, and that there were mountains and stuff, but it was just, everything was really brown and kind of rocky, and I'm really used to just everything being green, and so it's very different for me. Erin says in the color studies we use lakes. Can you use the exact measurements for dyes? You can use the same ratios for dyes, but you definitely don't want to use the same measurements, because dyes are about 10 times more potent than lakes. So you wouldn't want to use the exact same measurements, but you could use the same ratios, and that does work. Sometimes you have to tweak it just a little bit because some of the dyes are more potent than others. Like Blue One tends to be extremely powerful. And then, you know, if I was going to paint these, I would probably do it right now, or within the next couple hours. So I like to paint WonderBar when it's pretty fresh. I feel like it soaks into the bar like the best when it's like pretty fresh. So I'm also going to show ya. Well, I was going to show you, but where did it go? I don't know where my rubbing alcohol spray bottle went, so I can't. That's weird. So instead, I'll just put like a drop of rubbing alcohol right here on my finger, and then I'll pick up this bar, which you really shouldn't do, but I'm going to do anyway just to show you this. And then I'm just going to do his little foot right here, and you can see how his little wrinkles on his foot are just going to kind of disappear. So it doesn't bother me to have wrinkles on bubble bars. I feel like they kind of should have wrinkles or cracks or whatever. But if it bothers you, that's something that you can do. You can just go in and perform a little cosmetic surgery. So like right here on his eye where it's cracked, I can go in there and just kind of go like that. Right here on the top of his head where it's cracked, I just kind of go in there like that and smooth that out. So that's definitely something you can do if it bothers you that they have cracks or anything like that. So just a little another thing that you can have in your wheelhouse, you know. Let's see if there were any questions. Everybody thinks that the Pacific Northwest would be humid, but you said a fairly high humidity of the year because of your rainfall. So actually, I just wrote a blog article. It's an excerpt from the low humidity recipe, where I talk about dew point, how dew point affects humidity, because we have our relative humidity, but we also have our dew point. And so like right now my humidity is 72, not just because it's so wet outside, but also because my dew point is really high. So high dew point and high temperature and high humidity, those are all going to kind of play a part in it, because that's one reason why somebody who is in like, well, I don't know, Alaska, right, they're like, oh, I have 100% humidity, but their dew point is like 12 degrees Fahrenheit. So they actually have less moisture in the air than I would if I was at 100% humidity, if that makes sense. So that is something that we just wrote I think it's published now, but you guys can go read in on that if you're like interested in learning a little bit more about how humidity affects and dew point affects humidity. Let's see what else. Britt says they live in Texas. It's hot and humid. What can you do? I don't know. I live in Texas too. It's hot and humid. It's gross. So I have a dehumidifier that I run while my stuff is drying. So that can help a lot. And then just using, you know, trying to get your recipe to be more geared toward something that can handle humidity. So for example, WonderBar, Amanda created it because I told her, I was like, I love her bubble bar recipe from Fun in the Tub, but it never dries for me. There's a lot of glycerin in it, and so it doesn't dry. And so she developed WonderBar, which is great, and it does dry for me. So sometimes you just have to tweak your recipe. Jen says, would I use this whole bar in one bath? Yeah, probably. Let's see how much it weighs. I like to use about 4 ounces in a bath, but you know, it kind of depends on what kind of water you have. So these are 6, well, that's like the shortest guy. I bet these are a full, okay, so yeah, these are like 6 ounces. So you could use the whole thing if you wanted to. You could cut it in half. Probably cutting it in half would be enough for a bubble bath, I think. So yeah. Does our Bubble Boot Camp come with recipes as well as the videos? So for the Bubble Boot Camps, you get like, I don't know how much video. You get a ton of video with the Bubble Boot Camps, and then depending on the Bubble Boot Camp, you do get a ton of recipes as well. And I think each boot camp has listed down below like all the different recipes that you get, and it kind of depends on, like, if you have the original boot camp, we didn't have WonderBar yet, so you wouldn't get WonderBar in that one. But if you get further recipe, like further boot camps, you might get my recipe with it. You might get, you know, something. So we do include like a ton of recipes with it. So I would definitely check. Each boot camp has kind of a different mixture of the things that we get with it. Oh, okay. Kylie says you're gonna have to go read the blog. Yes, I will put a link to that because that literally just came out today. And then I think that's pretty much all the questions that I see. Oh, Kylie says the Pacific Northwest is wonderfully green. I've been in Seattle before and I love it. I was like, man, Seattle's so pretty. The reason that they tell people that it's depressing is to keep people away so that they don't go and ruin it, because it is gorgeous up there. I loved it. I think that's pretty much it for today, guys. If I go through and see any more questions that I didn't answer, I'll make sure that I answer them. These little cuties are pretty much done for now. I might go and paint them in a little bit. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. And as always, happy making.